Hi, I'm Peter.
And I'm Katmia.
Welcome to the This and That Chat. That almost sounded like a question.
And also, I feel like it sounded strange to my ears. Like I was expecting to see something different.
Because last week you jumped in
No,
and
I
stole
think
my
it's because
thunder.
It's because you said it like a question.
It's because you stole my thunder.
Listen.
Listen.
I didn't steal anybody's thunder.
You stole mine.
I just have to grab the limelight for a little bit.
You
when
can
I
have the introduction.
Nah.
It won't be as amazing.
I feel like it's a staple.
Because I'm amazing.
Okay.
My voice is amazing only for the introduction because it's the only time I'm not interrupted.
And then I interrupted you last time.
I know.
Look at that.
Gone.
You are not safe anywhere.
Nowhere. Not even in my sleep.
So, what's the wonderful thing that's going on right now?
Well, we just got back from hold on. Let me get my English.
That's not what I was going to say, but okay.
An impromptu getaway.
Yes. But that's ending, so that's not wonderful right now.
Well, it's an impromptu little getaway because tree trimming season is over.
It's true. We said that last time.
And things seem to be coming into something of a normal, at least for a little while.
I mean, it's been a while since you've been off on a Saturday.
Yes.
And what did we do? Let's say, I would say the majority of the time that we were away on this little weekend.
Sleep.
And
rest.
Yes. And rest. The kind of rest that we did was sort of lounging.
We had absolutely
no plans.
Yeah, we had absolutely very loose plans. So we were like, okay, we'll get up for breakfast and we'll go to a couple places, and we had an idea of where
we were eating.
But how to get there was very loose.
Yes.
Which was incredible.
Yeah.
And you don't rest the same when you stay home.
Yeah, and everybody knows it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have to stay home, because we've had to do staycations because we don't have the money to go away,
yes,
or maybe the time, and we're trying to do the staycation thing.
Yes,
I feel like you have to. Maybe some people have successfully done this, but I feel like personally, I have to sort of delude myself into thinking this is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray for staycation! I'm so excited.
Well, on that note. Thank you, tree trimming season, for funding this getaway. Because without it, it wouldn't have happened.
Well, and I feel like we're coming into my favorite time of the year, because I love the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
The exciting thing I was saying is it's officially fall. All right. And for me...
Is it officially fall?
Yeah, it was officially fall last week, but we're going to get into that right now. So this week, by the time our last week's episode aired, the day after was the official first day of fall, right? So now we are officially completely in the fall season.
Okay.
Which means, all the preparations for Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas, I feel like that's when it's all allowed, and there is a method to how all of this is going to go on. There is a specific time when Christmas music will start to play, and it isn't now. There's certain movies that we watch during this time of the year, and I know that you're going to be home more, and my favorite part of all is the time change, which you hate.
Because it makes my job harder. But that's not until November 10th? Or November.
Yeah, I think it's that weekend. It's either the weekend before or that one right there.
But the effects are already starting to happen.
Right, of course. But to me, the days cool off much faster, and I love the falling back. of that hour. For me, I know that in the summer you feel like your days are longer, but for me, it just, I don't know,
Well, it just in the summer
it makes the night longer. And I think that's what is important to me because that's when you're home. So if it's dark at 6:30 at night, I feel like, whoa, we've got a whole 4 hours and you're home and we get to spend those 4 hours together rather than you being able to work until almost 8:30 at night. And then we get, 45 minutes together.
You're really loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm very excited.
I was like, I want
Sorry.
to just put it out there. Sorry for blowing out somebody's ear.
Dang, you just realized this now?
Well, the thing is, in your practice run, you didn't have your excited voice.
Oh, okay. And what he means by a practice run, because we have to clarify this, since
yes.
we've said we don't script, we don't practice anything before. There is a mic check
Yes,
before we
during
start,
the mic
just
check.
to make sure that we're on and we're not wasting our time talking and
Yes,
not including you
we
and all the good stuff.
Well, we put away the mic. We put away our entire podcast setup
Yeah.
every week. We take it
Yeah.
out and put it back out, and take it out, put it back out.
So I feel like this week, maybe this weekend, I don't know. This is the culmination, right? The sum total of this week is all extremely exciting for me.
Okay.
I'm like beaming. I am full of joy, and there's just so many things that are just I'm excited about. Right? Number one was we did mention. Was it last week that I mentioned that my family had COVID?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had come back after taking a week off.
That's true because I was sick.
Which,
right?
by the way, we picked right back up where we were. Like, we want to thank everyone who listens to us because we didn't feel like there was a drop off. It was like everyone was there, and if anything, we did a little bit better.
And let's just talk about that for a minute, right? Because when we talked about taking the week off, I love the fact that I don't feel any pressure. And I don't know, I feel like maybe if you're a social media influencer or this is what you do, for monetization or if a sponsorship
to
or whatever,
live.
you have, but I'm saying like you're being sponsored, so there's a certain
you
amount
have
of
to-
stuff you
right,
have
you
to
have
put
to
out
put
or
out
whatever.
content.
I don't feel like we have that kind of pressure at all. So for me, it's just, we've already said it's amazing that people want to hear us, first of all, right? But if no one heard us, this is for our kids and our grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is the modern day journal that we're leaving for them. And what better way, right? So the fact that people still tuned in to hear us, and you mentioned that we're not on social media anymore permanently, right? So there wasn't anywhere to post an announcement. It was just kind of, hey, we need to take the week off, and sometimes that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's perfectly okay.
it's perfectly okay. I don't feel the pressure for that at all. But anyway, I do feel that maybe I spoke too soon when I said that the family had COVID, everybody was on the mend and everything, because out of the blue, my dad took a turn for the worse. And I feel that there was 5 days there where I literally feel like I held my breath.
It was like Monday or Tuesday, right?
Right. So Tuesday, I think he went into the hospital. And, when I found out that he was going to the hospital, I don't know. I'm sure that many people have the same experience, right? Where it's just, you think they're going to send you home because they keep telling you, don't come to the hospital if you're sick, like treat yourself at home unless you're experiencing a medical emergency. And he wasn't necessarily experiencing a medical emergency. He just said, I just don't feel right. He just felt so fatigued. And his oxygen, they have a
little monitor.
yeah, and I forgot what it's called right
A
now.
test.
I don't know. yes, something, right? And it was coming that it was in the 80s. So he decided he was going to go in. And then to hear he's being admitted, he has COVID pneumonia, his oxygen's actually at 75, and he needs to stay because we need to start treating this right away. I feel like I feel like that's the last big breath that I took. And then it's like you just have to wait, and just think about all of the stories that you hear about so many families across the country, across the world, who their loved ones don't make it out of that situation because they get worse, And so all of these thoughts are racing through your head. Everyone's still on the mend, and you're so far away, what could you do? Like, what would I do if I was right next to them anyway? So
and life still goes on because you're still doing school, and there's like stuff you have to do. Like you still have to continue. Like we had this getaway planned for the weekend, and it's like, what do we do?
In fact, I was telling one of my sisters that I felt so conflicted about the getaway, right? Because this is early in the week. The getaway's coming, and I'm thinking, should I be on a flight to my parents' house, like to be with my mom, to be just available for them there because they're still on the mend? How can I get away when my dad's in the hospital? Like, how can I even enjoy this? And then on the flip side, I was thinking about you and how much you and I have been looking forward to this, right? And how I know that now it's like my attention, I'm not present, I'm divided, and all these things that you quietly in the background just have to be supportive of, So it was one of those things where it's like...
And just to put it out there,
yeah,
it's not like I was like, oh, dang, now all this happened and now it's screwing up my plans. Because after 21 years, Marmy and Pappy are Marmy and Pappy. I care for them. So it's not like I wasn't worried. It's not like there isn't a level.
These are just thoughts. These are internal thoughts in
but
my head that I never said out loud.
I just wanted to put it out there because, a lot of times, the
in-law?
The in-law relationship is like not the best or whatever.
Right.
But in our case, it's mom. It's like a mom dad. There's no. I don't feel on both sides. I feel like our in-law relationships, mine with your parents and yours with mine, there's a mom and dad relationship. It's not you're the parents of my husband or the parents of my wife. So. You have to kind of balance all that stuff out and trying to figure that out so that you're not insensitive to the situation. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. And I'll say this. I mean, your mom went through a life-threatening situation a few years back herself. She was hospitalized for a long time, and we were right in the middle of leaving to our super sought-after first ever vacation.
Yeah.
Second time that we were visiting Georgia. And in the middle of all of that, we had to cancel our trip.
Yep.
And it's, just looking at it
And
from that end, like I never thought in my mind about, great, now our vacation is canceled or anything. I'm sorry. I know you're pointing at, I'm looking away from the mic, but I have something in my eye and it's just killing me. So I apologize for that. But I was saying, I never looked at it like, oh, great, there goes our vacation,
Right.
Because in those moments, I feel like everything, it's like you're looking through a binocular, let's say, and you finally get to the part where everything comes into perspective. And there's just things that just don't even matter anymore.
It was so intense and so quick, right?
So unexpected.
Like, how do you handle quick and unexpected? And we've been extremely lucky. We actually discussed this a little bit, where, we've been lucky in the fact that, our son and and our soon to be daughter-in-law, they got COVID, right? And they went through that, but they were able to mend at home. And now your
Youth
entire
was on their side.
youth was on their side, yeah. And then your family, and then your other sister that lives close by. Like there's been a lot that's been going on around us, and we've been very, very lucky. On my like with my sisters on their side, they've had COVID come through the house. My parents, thankfully.
I mean, you've had extended family members with COVID as well, and
Yep.
everyone
And
has recuperated.
Like really, right? It's all around us, and we've been extremely lucky, thankfully, that we've been able to keep on going normal. But at
I
the
just
same,
feel like we've been given a gift.
Mhm.
That's what I keep telling my family, right? That's what I feel. I feel like it goes beyond luck. There's just something so specific and so sacred about a gift. Like, here's the gift of life that you have been given, gift of more memories, more time. Like, what kind of gift is time with somebody?
right?
And to me, it's just like incredible that we've been given that, when I know so many others long for that and they don't have that. So it
And
was
and that there
sorry.
isn't, and that there isn't a, oh, you fit the bill of the person who's going to suffer the worst.
Right.
Because COVID doesn't care if you're 100 or if you're 20, because we've seen stories on both sides, and there are people who have been, like you were just telling me the story of that family, that they were all worried because the grandfather, who was in his 70s, was sick, and while they're all paying attention to him, the one who passed away was the
Youngest 17-year-old
the
daughter.
17-year-old daughter,
Which is shocking.
Yeah.
It's so shocking, So it was a very emotional week, a very draining week, in which, it just, I feel like it was my family with each other is extremely close, so I feel like we have something different that perhaps, other people don't share that with their family. I mean, I feel like even your family dynamics with your own siblings are very different than they are with my siblings.
Well, you guys
with
had
myself.
a football team in the house, so.
Right,
For a
so
baseball team.
we speak like our own language, we have our own inside jokes, I mean, like all of that stuff, right? And so to be so close, and I feel like everyone, without having to say their worst fears, you knew. You just were all thinking the same thing. Nobody wants to say anything out loud, but everyone's inwardly just sitting there watching every day. Like, there's 3 nights where I couldn't sleep. The initial night that he went into the hospital, I couldn't.
You being the oldest, you've had to hold a lot of the heavier responsibilities from when you were younger, because I mean, you're the oldest of 8. There's no way your mom could do that by herself.
My mama says that I was her right hand.
Yeah, like there's a point where you stopped being a kid and you had to be an adult, because it's just too much, and that carries on, even after you left the house and started your own life. You're still the, sometimes the phone rings and it's one of your siblings, like, hey, I need to talk to you. And that's what it is. You assume that role, whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
So,
and you don't even think about it, because that's just what it is.
yeah, it's just it's just a natural progression. It just happens, and that's what it is.
Yeah. So, just feeling all of that, like not being able to sleep, not knowing what's going on, not hearing it from a doctor, yourself. Are they telling you everything? Is he worse off than they're saying he is? Like, all of these things, right? And I did get to speak to my dad one of the days that he was there, which I was also conflicted about, because I know that he was very fatigued, and it took a lot of energy for him to speak, and I wasn't sure. I know I want that moment with him, but is it selfish for me to take that moment if he's sick and fatigued and all that stuff? But interestingly enough, my dad and I, like, what do we talk about?
Your dad?
Yeah.
You with your dad?
Yeah.
It's always something politics.
It's always politics. And that's exactly what we talked about, And I kind of let him lead to see if he would tell me, okay, like, I'm tired. I'm going to hang up now, because I didn't want to overexert him too much, and I didn't want to take up too much of his time. And we ended up talking for 45 minutes, and so we talked politics, and at the very, very end, he made a joke to me in which I laughed and he laughed, and he was like, "Don't make me laugh because that makes him cough," And so it was so good for me to hear his spirit was still there, And so then this past Saturday, then he was officially released and he's back at home. And so to me, I felt like I took a full breath again. And it was just
and the good thing is that on Friday, when we were leaving for our weekend, we already knew that the next morning he was going to be released. Yes. So it was already there was a relief to the weekend.
Right. So then I feel like it was super restful. I know we needed the rest regardless, because we needed to have us time, right? And I was able to rest, even though we were in that terrible, terrible bed.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Side note.
Yeah.
Listen, we have had our bed for a long time.
Let's think about how long we've had that, because I remember Nikki I still carried her in my hip, so I'm going to say that did we have that bed in the atriums? Or was it in Bentry?
I would say the atriums. So Nikki was
because who helped us move out of the atriums? Because that bed is memorable to anyone who has helped us move. Anybody who's listening to our chat right now who has helped us move.
We got it while we were at the atriums, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. I mean, it does fit the timeline of Nikki, how I see her little.
Yes. So we got that bed when we had the Ford Focus. And the Ford Focus, I remember because we tied that sucker to the top of the Ford Focus.
I don't remember that at all. I don't remember that.
Okay. So we brought that home from that sketchy warehouse.
And I think we talked about that in one of the episodes. We went to that sketchy warehouse.
And that was when we had that Ford Focus.
Okay.
So that was at Bentry.
Okay, so you're talking about 17 years ago. Okay, so 17 years ago we got our bed, and I was reading an article that said you're supposed to replace your mattress every 3 to 5 years. Because now, mind you this, they say that the reason your mattress gets heavy is because of all the dead skin and dust that your mattress has collected over the years.
That thing is heavy from the moment we bought it. It's a Tempur-Pedic.
It's a memory foam mattress. It's not because when you say Tempur-Pedic,
it's
right?
It's
a Sealy Posturepedic. We're saying that specifically because we tried the Tempur-Pedic bed, and I feel like the Tempur-Pedic bed is so much more firm.
Yeah, listen.
Than this one.
This thing is so heavy, and we have talked about going and getting another, but any time that we have slept on any other bed, we are broken for like 3 or 4 days.
Correct. And then our bed hugs us and tells us it's going to be all right.
It's going to be okay.
So,
and then we stop talking about it.
This is where you and I then have had this conversation of, I really want a king mattress. Okay. I just feel like in this age of our life, for example, I'm going to give you an example. Last night, I felt like the room was a little warm. Okay. I actually consoled myself with just the images of fans to help me go to sleep. I imagined what it would be like to have a fan in the room.
While I was on the other side shaking.
Poor you. Okay.
Because of how cold.
And so I felt like I was hugging you at that moment, and just the body heat, it was too much for me, right? And what I did was I just pushed myself away, and I had like a whole other bed I was sleeping on, and I felt so cool all of a sudden.
If
And
we
I was
could
able to
find-
go to sleep.
If we could find our exact same bed,
Right.
king size,
That's
it would already be in our room.
well, we haven't even looked, to be honest. Okay, but I think what I was going to say about that is that there's so many mattress companies now that have try in home for like 60 days. If you don't like it, send it back. I feel like it's worth.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So if it's like that, when they send it back, what do they do with it?
I have no idea. Especially with all the precautions that so many companies are taking because of COVID now. I don't know. That's a
Do
very
they just
maybe
clean it up and send it
maybe
back
they
out?
have like a specialized team that comes in and sanitizes it or something. I don't know. But bottom line is, oh my gosh, I just had the worst thought.
Okay, go.
What if they have every single mattress they sell already ready to send it to you, because that's the sample size that they send to everybody?
No, that's not how it works. They send you one, you try it, and if you like it, you keep it.
I know. And if you don't like it, you send it back.
Yes.
But what if they send you the sample size?
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm saying, what if other people have sampled it? What if
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now we're on the same page.
This is how miscommunication
Yes.
happens with
So
us.
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't. No.
I
okay.
don't know. I don't know.
We're
But
keeping our bed.
see, and
we've-
then that's where we go back
It's
and
got
forth.
another. It's
where
got another 17 years.
it's got an. I mean, I feel like that bed will probably outlive us.
No, that bed is.
That's going nowhere.
I know. And
Every
it's
time
still in
somebody
good shape.
moves, listen, you know how older people, they have like those giant made out of solid wood armoires that weigh like 1,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's our mattress. Every single time that we have had people help us move, everybody picks it up like it's
the
going to
thing
be
is-
nothing. And the worst
yes.
thing is, it isn't straight.
Right? It's
just
not,
like
it just
flops over. So now you're carrying, it's like it's falling on you.
You're carrying a dead body. The thing is crazy.
Oh my
It's
gosh,
crazy.
so it's terrible to move. That's why I'm so happy. God forbid that we ever have to move again.
We don't.
I loathe.
we are not going anywhere.
loathe moving. So let's talk about that for. Oh no. I feel like we're gonna save that for another episode.
Okay.
All of our moves and our redecorating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
That is actually a good one. So
Stay tuned.
make a pin.
Stay tuned. In one of our future episodes, you'll get that.
Yes.
And let me tell you, we've got some stories.
Oh my gosh. Yes. I was just thinking, I'm so glad I'm past that phase.
Mm-hmm.
So, the other thing that is exciting, right? I talked about it being exciting that the holidays are here. It's exciting that your Saturdays are back. We get our weekends back again.
Yes.
The time is changing.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's out of the hospital and doing so much better. And we are creating a movie room. And I'm so excited about it. So, turns out that on our trip, we're just having regular conversation, right? And all of a sudden, I said to you, you know what? It'd be really nice if we would have like an in-home like theater. I'm talking about the big screen, the surround sound. Since we've been watching Lord of the Rings, here comes Smaug, and you can just hear him flying from behind you, whispering and blowing fire, right? And you say, you've been thinking the same thing. I love when we're both on the same page about stuff.
Yes. Well, I've been thinking about, so in the back of the office, like the back wall of the office, it's kind of like a thorn on the side where since it used to be our garage, there really isn't like a framework on that back wall, and it's kind of open with the AC, and we've got a little bit of storage stuff, and it's just kind
The
of like
laundry used to be
the
here.
laundry used to be there. Like there's just stuff that's just I didn't know what to do with it, and we had this big black curtain that we used for when I used to do photography. And
jinx.
yep. And I was thinking, well, it would look great if we could just put it across the back.
Because
But
we
what-
have been trying to do barn doors.
right.
But it's
And-
almost nearly impossible.
Yes, because I didn't want to block off the space from where the AC unit is. If there's a need to get back there, and then
And
we've
what's
got
that master switch box called?
the electrical box.
Yes.
The electrical box is there. The water heater's back there. Like there's a few
All
other
the things that we need to get into.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I want to keep this kind of open. And I thought about this curtain, and I was like, well, what would fit with that curtain? And then it hit me. A movie. Like a movie theater has curtains that go across some of the walls. So the moment you said that, I was like,
Bingo.
I already thought about the idea for the back wall, and then in true Zamora fashion, we are running at 8,000 miles an hour to get our movie room going.
Because it's so exciting.
Yes.
Right? So we created this storage closet in the garage, right? So that we could still keep a storage space. You built this like a really amazing wooden shelf space that was customized to the space. And then we created a small little side closet, I would say, right? Where we put up these amazing things that we got at IKEA that are wall units to hang up DVDs. And so we have, because we have tons, like we said it before. I think we said it before. We are
have-
the last
We have friends.
Blockbuster in Florida.
We have friends that consider us Blockbuster.
Yes.
They come rent movies from us.
And in true Blockbuster fashion, there are people who never returned the movie copies. And we are missing copies of movies.
Yes.
You know who you are. Moving on.
You know our address. If you drop them off
Mail them back and all
Without-
your fees will be forgiven.
without a return address, so we don't even know where it's coming from. But just know our book has your name in it.
Blacklisted.
Dun dun dun.
But it's right now there's, because, you know, we really need to get into our storage space and alleviate it of some garbage. But there are things here that are blocking us from being able to go in and out of where the DVDs are. So it's really a hassle when we want to grab DVDs. And so one of the things that I was thinking about was, wow, if this was a movie room, right? I had thought about this, but I know you're not going to like the idea of it, but I was thinking of taking the door off. And just, it's like a little room that you just walk in and you can pull a movie out of. I know.
No.
I know. So we're moving on from that. But
Do you know the work that went into getting that wall
I do know.
to balance perfectly?
But, and yet still, when you close that door,
It
you have to
requires a
muster
love.
up all of your strength and rush it. Like you're a bull
You're such,
about to rush into a matador.
you are so exaggerated.
You know it's true.
No, you're so exaggerated.
Listen,
Okay, go ahead. Next.
I'm telling you like it is. But,
You have to give it a little bit of a shoulder. I'm not gonna lie.
okay, so a shoulder for you is a bull rush for me.
Okay, but here, let's I put the wall, okay, in the middle. Like, I mean, this used to be a garage, and I built an entire frame for a wall.
Yeah.
And who would have thunk it, okay, that the garage, okay, is at a slight angle. It makes sense that it is at a slight angle, but that little bit of an
No, the
angle
thing-
creates that door.
To not,
not-
listen, there was forever and ever, we couldn't even get the door to close. You had to figure it out before we ended it, remember?
Yes,
So,
but
whoa.
now it closes.
Yeah. But anyway, so just I love the fact that we're getting to do like these really cool things for our house, right? Because if we had younger kids, I feel like, when we first designed this office, we did it with the intention of, we have the office space here. You could totally have a meeting here if you needed to with like a client you were doing photography with or whatever. And, we still have the storage space, the small little storage space. We painted the room, we decorated the room. So it looks like just an extension of the house, right? Except for that eyesore back there where the AC and the magical,
Yes.
the electrical box is at and all that stuff, right? But this was a place for the kids, if they had friends over, right? To have a place to come watch movies, hang out, and it's, this is the hangout spot here.
Right.
And it worked. And when we had, friends who've since moved away who would bring their young children around, this was the place where you set up a movie and the adults can go and watch
And we're in
the
another,
Super Bowl.
Right, we're in another room and everything is okay.
But now we can have a movie room, and there's no more, of our kids bringing friends over or anything. That's gone. So
And we're looking at what movie posters to put up on the wall.
yes,
And
and we went
what was
and
that?
so we ended up, we always have like the same little stores that we sort of go around.
Mm-hmm.
We love to go to Goodwill because I have found some really amazing stuff there. Usually I like going to Goodwill because I'm looking for Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew books. And I have found a lot of them for $1 there. And just, there's a specific something I'm looking for, So like there's candlesticks that I bought there that were ugly and nasty and terrible, and I painted them and made them pretty, and it's exactly what I wanted, and I didn't want to pay full price for it. So this time that we went, we ended up finding records.
Yeah, some really amazing ones.
99 cents each. And what do you lose? You lose $1 if you bring it home and it doesn't play.
We spent $4 because we found 4 of them.
And so far so good.
So far,
we
so
heard
good.
we heard one and it was perfect. So wonderful.
Beautiful.
But, the other places that we like to go to is I like to go to Home Goods.
Yes.
You, on the other hand, are like, are they crazy with their prices?
Listen.
Anybody who's listening
Home
to you, they're
Goods.
like, yeah, it's Marshalls, it's TJ Maxx. Of course, they're expensive.
Home Goods is insane. So we were looking at some of the Halloween stuff. I got to talk about the skeleton because I could not believe it. We stopped at Party City because there was one right next door, and I hadn't been in a Party City since I left, so it's been a long time. And I don't know why. I was like, oh, let's go look and see. Maybe we can decorate some stuff in front of the house because we really didn't do anything for Halloween. And we walk in, and Ketmia has this idea with the skeletons that they have. And they have each skeleton, it's like a 5-foot skeleton, $50. She was like, oh, if we can get a couple of them, we can do some stuff. And we were just kind of thinking ideas. And we're like, okay, well, let's think out what we're going to do, and then we'll come back and we can make that final decision. There really wasn't a lot of stuff there, so we weren't inspired. So we left and we go to the Home Goods that's right next door. And when we walk in, they have this 5-foot skeleton that is a grayish color that is standing up and holding a bowl. And they're selling it for $199. $199. Okay? That's $200. I could not believe my eyes. I said, are these people crazy?
I wonder, though, because these people are supposed to be selling. It's like kind of like Ross, where they sell you some products that other stores sell at a kind of a discounted rate. I wonder how much that actually costs. If that's not the regular price,
There's
I can't
50
even
it's-
believe
it's
that it would cost
50
more than that.
It's 50 or 60%
Impossible,
profit.
babe.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait, what do you mean?
Of profit. That means that they pay maybe 75 to
I'm not
80
asking
bucks.
what they pay. I'm saying if this was sold at like
Mm-hmm.
Pottery Barn, because they have some things that maybe come from Pottery Barn, right? At Pottery
Home
Barn,
goods is home goods. They're not getting stuff from other places.
really?
Oh yeah.
Because Marshalls does, and Marshalls and TJ
'Cause
Maxx and Home
Marshalls-
Goods are all connected to
Yes,
each other.
but it's like home goods is Publix.
Oh.
Okay. And what's the other one? TJ Maxx.
Uh-huh.
And what else?
And Marshalls.
Okay, TJ Maxx is Winn-Dixie. Okay. And what's the other one?
Marshalls?
Is Sedano's.
Never. Ross is Sedano's.
Okay, then whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's like they're tiers. Like you've got the really expensive store that gets all their high end stuff. Home
But
goods.
I thought the fact that they were all connected meant you can find these products at any one of our stores.
No.
We just go by different names.
Marshalls gets all the stuff that doesn't sell anywhere else, and then they sell it to you cheap.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And even they're more expensive than Ross's. Because if you go to Ross and you go to Marshalls, you notice a
big difference.
very big difference.
I think the way that they do it is they have it at Home Goods. If it doesn't sell at Home Goods, it goes to Marshalls. If it doesn't sell at Marshalls, it goes to Ross. I think that's how it happens.
I gotta
Anyway,
look into
any way
this,
you look at
But
it,
they do have beautiful things.
they
though.
do. But
Ugh.
I'm not paying for them.
No, I know. They do have such beautiful things. I love going to their clearance aisle and
then-
finding things for clearance.
So when we left there with $7 in
Right.
purchases,
We bought one thing.
we bought one little thing.
I was like, dang, it's a dud.
We went next door to Big Lots. So all these stores are like one right next
And
to
we
each
don't
other.
have a Big Lots here. I mean,
We
I do
don't?
think that there is, but it might be closed.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't even
But
remember.
even if it is, they don't have the same things
Yeah.
that they do up there.
So we walk into Big Lots and their Christmas display.
Already. Let's just first establish that it is September and their Christmas display is already up and front and center. Not
Yes.
even Halloween.
No. And let me tell you something. They have the most amazing products. And immediately we looked at each other and we knew we were in trouble. Because
Well, I was just glad we didn't spend any money at Party City because
Yeah.
what we saw there was like,
I would have
whoa.
I would have taken it back to Party City.
I would have taken it back too.
So we ended up buying some decorations
So they-
for Christmas.
Yes. I know. We didn't even go in with the
But
idea.
it's stuff that we had seen last year or something at least very similar.
Speaking of which, we have to go to Lowe's because we're looking for those specific,
the specific lights.
icicles.
So
yes.
this stuff that we bought like this like willow tree, light up willow tree, and then the set.
Beautiful. Like all of its leaves light up.
Yeah, and then the set of like the 3 deer. And the deer last year we saw them, they were selling them at $80 a piece.
A piece, and this is a 3-piece,
Yeah.
and they're big.
Yeah, they're
they're
big.
not the little tiny ones or the ones that are all wire and you can't really tell their face.
Yeah, it has a buck, the deer, and then like a baby
It
deer.
has faces.
Mm-hmm. $140 for 3 of them. So we had to jump on the train. Like we had to get them. So we get these, right? We're like, goodness, we're spending more than what we kind of anticipated. We go up to the register, and
And that lady had helped us previously.
yeah, she had helped
She's
us.
super nice.
Yeah, she had helped us originally.
What's
to
her
help
name?
us. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
You remember?
Did she say her name was Amanda?
Amanda. Yes, you're right.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
So we won't say exactly.
Shout out to Amanda.
But
at-
don't say where.
What do you do? You just said where we went.
I know, but what if her boss is listening?
But you
and now
just
she's
said
gonna
we
get in
went to
trouble?
Big Lots, Amanda, at Big Lots in Naples.
Sorry, Amanda.
No, she was so sweet.
Anyways, so she goes to ring us up. She's helping us out, and the bill like comes up on the screen, and I almost pass out. And she's like, "Hold on," and she goes into her stuff and like ends up knocking $60 off of the ticket because of a coupon that is roaming around that weekend. I was floored at how amazing that was.
The timing of us going there.
So we actually ended up, it's like getting one of the trees for free.
Yeah.
So we definitely scored there.
We scored big.
Yeah.
And thanks to her. Because, I've always thought about, I have loved it when I've gone anywhere, Michael's, any place that you go to, and the cashier will tell you, hey, do you have the coupon from this week? And a lot of times it's like, wait, what coupon? Don't worry. They have the coupon right there.
Yep.
And they're not getting anything for that. To me, that's just excellent customer service.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes the customer come back.
For sure. For
So,
sure. So we leave. This is my favorite part though. So we leave. We're like pushing
I know exactly what you're thinking.
We're pushing the shopping cart, right, with this big old box of 3 deer and the 2 willow trees, and we're just like talking about the fact that we just got $60 something off, and we're like so excited, and we have to walk across the front of the home goods store, which is right next door. And there's a car that's pulled up right to the front door. And here comes this old man dragging his $200 skeleton.
And you're like, no, dude, they robbed you.
They robbed you, my guy. Like, you're done. And he ends up, he goes and he puts it into his car, and he's going to drive away. But, we were like, it was so funny.
But another thing that just reminded me of right now is that because we were at quite a few lines this weekend when we were at different stores, and I'm wondering, we discussed analyzing and critiquing what is in other people's carts, and I wonder how many other people do that as well.
You think people are looking at us and be like, these guys are buying Christmas stuff? What's wrong with them?
Right. Like, so I wonder how many of our listeners do that too when they're in a store, because there have been times where it's not like I'm trying to look at everybody's cart to see what do you have in it, right? But usually the cart in front of you, you're behind them. So
there's curiosity.
But so you're there, you have nothing to do. You're in a line, right? So it's like, okay, what did you find? What did you come in here for? And there are times where there are just things that are in the cart, like and there's usually this one big thing, right? That it's like, really? I passed by that.
Oh my goodness.
And that was just ugly as sin. And you have it in your cart.
Are you talking about the lady at Hobby Lobby?
Oh, it was at Hobby Lobby, right?
Listen, this frame...
But I just wonder if other people are doing that to my cart.
Listen, this frame was 4 foot by 4 foot. It was humongous. They have to have a massive wall to put this thing on there.
And so you gotta wonder, like, what kind of mural are they?
I don't know whatever was going on there. But we looked at that and we were like, why?
But it was the frame, really, that it
the
was
thing
just
ugly.
It was just so ugly. But so then I wonder, it's taste, right? What do they say? One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Yes, but the question is, where in the house would that go?
Right. So then I was thinking, remember that there's some houses that have been constructed here that have these really, really, really high ceilings, and there's no second floor.
Yes.
Or there's a second floor and there's like an opening.
That would make sense.
So I was thinking
to fill
about
that space.
Some people, how they are. I forgot the name of this. Where they go and.
Eccentric?
No, like they go
Eclectic?
Decorate a house to show it.
Crazy.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, like a setter?
Stager.
A stager, yes.
Right. Right. So like a house stager. Remember the lady that we met in North Carolina that was buying books and she was finding books of
Oh, that's
specific
right.
colors?
Yes.
Because she would like to put them, just the backs of them.
Yep. She wasn't even looking at what the book was,
No,
just the color.
it's the colors because it had to go with the themes of how she was staging the homes.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would have always done a good job at something like that because I like doing stuff like that. And especially if you have, you can buy anything at all to
So-
stage.
You have to have
But-
a warehouse of stuff.
But again, that's one of those where it's your taste that's coming through.
Right.
See? So I wonder, it could be that for
right,
someone.
but it gives somebody a visual of what the house could look like.
Exactly. But I'm saying
And
that.
then you move
that's
in with your stuff and you're like, well, this isn't the house I bought.
I know. I know. Especially like when we would see those shows like Fixer Upper.
It happened to us.
Well, but we didn't desire anything we saw in here.
No.
So that's where
but
you
we
know
came
you
in
have to
with
have
an idea.
vision.
Yeah.
Because there were things where, especially like the way the living room was set up, it just seemed such an awkward way that the living room was set up. And they had no dining room table. They had their office out where our dining room table is right now. So it was just, okay, that is their vision for the house. You have your vision for it. And so Nikki was saying something to me that she's so glad. And I'm trying to remember what exactly we were talking about. But she said, I'm so glad. I think it was about the kitchen, actually. The way that we remodeled the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
She said to me, I'm so glad that you were able to have a vision to see what it could become. Because
I'm
I
glad
remember,
you did because I did not see it.
And so, it's so to sum it up, bottom line is maybe everybody critiques carts in front of them or behind them, but someone is critiquing my cart. So I wonder how many times people have said, really? You're going with that? What are you doing?
Well, if you want to hear the full story or more of the story of our remodeling, it's episode like 5 or 6.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So-
I was going to say, don't say we're doing a future episode. We
No,
did
no,
an
no, I
episode.
know. I think it's episode 6 because
And I do think it's called something about DIYing. Or Home Sweet Home.
well, it
or
was home
something like
home
that.
sweet home, and then it was making our house a home or something like that, right? Anyways, it's either like episode 5 or 6. So go back and you can listen to it there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess we'll finish with Hobby Lobby. So we went.
Okay, so I'm going to make a confession right now.
Oh God.
All right, so a couple of weeks ago, right before fall was officially here, I asked you, hey, could I have my allowance early so I could go to Hobby Lobby? Right?
Her $3.
I don't really get an allowance. This is a running joke between us
Yes.
that at some point I'm going to have an allowance.
$3. That's what it's gonna be.
So I said, could I have a little bit of money to go to Hobby Lobby? I have a vision of what I'm looking for, and unfortunately I was not able to find it. I did find some things for floral arrangements that I wanted to make and whatever. But you said, I want to go with you. And for a minute, and I was telling Sally this, right? So I'm telling her this story as I'm telling it to you now. And I told her, for a minute, my mind is racing. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Do I want to go with him or not? And so as I'm doing this and you just said to me, I want to go with you, I have to respond to you very fast while my mind is like rushing, thinking through this. And all of a sudden I'm like, if he goes with me, I'm more likely to get more than what I was originally given. So, yes, I would love to go with you, hon.
How dumb.
Sal laughed so much about
How
that.
dumb. How dumb is it that you would say that to me? Because guess what? Now the next time we go,
You
I'm
know,
giving
next
you.
time, next time
I'm
we
going
go,
to
listen.
take a dollar amount, and that's
Listen.
gonna be it. It's gonna be like $5. That's it.
This is why I have secrets.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so wonderful.
$250 later.
Listen, it was so wonderful.
Because- no,
Wait,
but-
but let's see. How much did I actually ask for? Barely anything. Floral stuff. And and my mat. I forgot about
It
my
was.
mat.
I know. Okay,
We
so
did find.
yes, but hold on. So you're like, oh, they have a movie section here.
That's. I wasn't going for the movie
Yes, but
section though.
I know, because you didn't find anything else that you wanted. So you're like, we're here. I might as well try and trick them
Whoa.
into yes.
Those
into
are serious
Oh,
accusations.
oh yes. So you're like, let's trick them. Look, you're laughing at me
Sorry.
directly because you know
But
what you
that's
did.
not. You're
So-
making me laugh.
Yes. So we go over to the movie section, and you're like, Do you see? Do you
See
see?
anything you like? That exit sign is really
Oh,
nice,
that
but it's
looks-
probably too expensive.
Yeah, that one right there. Well, where would it go? Oh, well, right here. Well, look at this. Well, we need this. But if we don't have that, we need to get this. But look.
So
how
we
about
got the
one
whole set.
Yeah. $250 later. And as I'm standing at the register,
All the women behind me were so jealous.
I know they were. And the guys who were with them were walking off saying, "This guy, what a pain, what a jerk."
Make me look bad in front of my wife.
Okay. So here we are. Hold on. Let's finish here a second. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm looking over, right? And we get all this stuff rung up. And I say to myself, I'm such an idiot. I was taken for a ride. And now I can't take any of it back. I'm done.
Wow. So I didn't even need to confess. You knew beforehand.
Of course I did. Because I looked at the cart and I was like, this is incredible.
Okay, but in all reality, you did say, "Ooh, that was less than I thought we were going to spend."
Yes, it was less than I thought we were going to. You're such a jerk.
So I did nothing. I
You're-
saved you
you-
money.
You are a jerk.
Listen.
Because let me tell you something. You take advantage of me and then you laugh at me.
No, I'm
On the
not.
air. On the
I-
air for everyone to hear.
It's confession time.
Yeah.
We should have confession time at the end of every episode.
It'll be like a like what is it? A sting? It'll be a confession time.
Okay. Anyway,
Anyways, our
was a
movie
good
room
week.
is gonna look incredible because of all the stuff that we bought.
yes.
And there's still a little bit to do, and we're planning on doing that here in the next couple of weeks, I think. So it's going to be incredible.
Yep.
We're really going to enjoy it because I know that we will get a lot of use in that room.
We're creating an IMAX experience.
Yep.
So awesome.
So,
Anyway. That is the end of our episode today. And
it got
we
feisty at the end.
I know. Well, it was funny. I don't know. You were hurling accusations at me.
Mm-hmm. One or two stuck.
Stop. So we will see everybody next week, right?
Yes, with another episode of more accusations and confession time.
Confession time.
I'm not adding that into our repertoire.
No.
All right, guys.
Those can't be forced.
Thank you so much for coming back every single week to listen to this because it blows my
We have
mind.
a new listener. This week.
Yes.
And I got a personal text about how excited they were to listen. And I was like, I literally text back, be prepared. We're a handful.
Yes.
And they said, I love it. So thank
Okay.
you for loving it, I guess.
Thank you for loving this mess.
Yes.
See you guys next week.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.